Other countries, $3 a year. Published monthly. Single copies, 30 cents. The voice of the I Am is the mouthpiece through which the Ascended Master's instruction can reach the students quickly. That the most powerful work possible for America and the world may be done by the students to release the greatest light in the shortest time. It will also contain information as to where the accredited messengers, Mr. and Mrs. G. W. Ballard and son Donald, are teaching the Ascended Master's instruction on the I Am. Information. The information given under the heading of Young America will be the Ascended Master's help to the young people for their protection and illumination, as they are the builders of the new civilization and are the channels through which the Ascended Masters will give their light for the use of the outer world in the golden I Am age. This magazine is not an outlet for articles from the students, but is the outpouring of the help from the Ascended Masters and has no human concepts in it. The Sindelar Studios, 2600 South Hoover Street, Los Angeles, California. Ecstasy. I pledge the unfed flame a vow, its glory all commanding now. I face my source above and see my presence smiling down at me. I feel its great enfolding love pouring o'er me from above. I gaze into its glorious eyes. I hear it say, "Arise, arise." I see its blazing heart of light, its beauteous garments dazzling bright. I see its blazing heart of light, its beauteous garments dazzling bright. I ask its help and do implore. I hear it say, "Adore, adore." I watch its light become a sun, whose rays pour out to everyone. I now behold, these seem to blend. I hear it say, "Ascend, ascend." I must obey its mighty call, surrendering now myself, my all. I do attain my victory. I hear it say, "All free, all free." Its arms reach out and raise me high. Its light illumines all the sky. I hear it say, "Myself now be. For I am thee, and thou art me." CHANR 1. Mr. Ballard's Afternoon. Invocation, November 14th, 1936. IGHTY Presence. Speak thy wishes to these beloved students. The I Am Presence. I am the power that gives you all freedom. I am the life in you that raises every outer. 2. Activity into the fullness of my perfection. I am the I am the authority in your life and world that now asserts itself to produce the harmony necessary for your freedom. Accept this. I am the power that knows no interference of any kind from any human creation. I am the wisdom that directs everyone who will give attention to me unto the fullness of each one's freedom and absolute glory of life. I am the wisdom, when invited, that prevents all mistakes of mankind. I am the authority that silences every human destructive activity when called into action to do so. I am the presence that silences and places out of action every person, association, or whatever sends forth destructive activity to my presentation through the other ascended masters and Saint Germain of this light and work. The great cosmic law has now answered me, and I become the authority, in cooperation with it, that enables all human destructive activity or interference with this avenue of light to be silenced, and I ask you, beloved students, to watch it be silenced. All unfortunate individuals in human form, who henceforth attempt to personally interfere with this light, knowing the love and kindliness with which the messengers have brought this forth, shall meet the recoil of their own destructive creation, for the great cosmic light no longer allows them to be protected. Today, for the first time since this work has gone forth, have I, the mighty I Am Presence, asserted myself in this work. So let all understand that when the great cosmic law has come, 3. To a point of activity in which the authority of the human free will may be set aside for all destructive forces, then this fiat, this command, goes forth. May the light that beats each human heart, which sends forth through the feeling destructive activity, may that light help them and preserve them. Mankind has gone on through the centuries with their willful disobedience to me, the mighty I Am Presence. Now, the law of the earth, which is the great cosmic law, has said, no longer shall nature accept the iniquity, the discord of mankind. Therefore, mankind is facing the culmination of the accumulation of their destructive activities for centuries. That law must now have its reaction to the individuals, whoever, wherever they are, who refuse to enter into the necessary harmony for their freedom and protection. They will meet their own destructive activity as surely as they breathe. This authority is spoken forth not to frighten anyone, but to give all once again, the opportunity to set their worlds in order by calling their mighty I Am Presence into action, which will do it. If the human doubts and fears interfere with such individuals doing this, then the responsibility is theirs. They have the energy in the knowledge of my presence to call me into action to perform this service, and it cannot fail. The individual who wants to allow his human to longer cause him to doubt, fear, and question, when the great law, simplified, all-powerful, and majestic in its active presence, is explained for his use, then he alone becomes responsible for what happens to him. 4. Do not make any mistake. This form you see before you has nothing to do with these words which I am speaking. Look upon that chart and behold your reality. That chart is absolutely accurate, giving you the eye picture of your glory which beats your heart. There is no mistake, not one single one there. You, my precious ones of the earth, have the opportunity for your freedom and ascension. This messenger, your good brother, with love and kindness hour after hour, presents the truth of this chart to you, that you may know the presence which beats your heart cannot be interfered with, when called into action to produce perfection and supply in your world. Will you not listen and obey my fiat, my command which has come forth to give you your freedom now, after centuries of wandering in the maze of destructive creation? Will you not, O precious ones here, listen to me, and forever silence all human gossip within yourselves and others? Take your command within my presence to have the light descend, as it did with this brother who stands before you, in rendering the service described in these books. I pity the human personality who doubts the truth within these books. They were brought forth at the command of the cosmic law, the mighty I Am Presence, and the great host of ascended masters, to bring this knowledge in its simplicity for freedom of the world. It shall go forth until all the world knows it, regardless of all human beings on the face of the earth. Will you not accept this and have your freedom, which my presence will bring to you and your world? 5. No longer accept the human concepts of pain, disorder, and disease in your mind, body, and world. But stand fearless in the glory of my presence, which gives you life, and no longer tolerate these things that have brought distress and limitation in the world of human activity. The light is within you.
It beats your heart.
In every cell of your body is my light, waiting there for you to turn your attention to me, the source of all being. Until that day when my energy can be released at your call to set you free in perfect health and with everything that is required to produce beauty, happiness, and perfection in your world of action. The glory of God, the mighty I Am presence, can be manifest in and through you at any given moment, when you have silenced the human creation which you have generated and set it aside sufficiently to let that energy go forth uninterrupted, unclothed by human feeling. I speak to you through the mental and feeling worlds. This hour I speak to every I Am stew, dent throughout America and the world, that all may feel this radiation going forth today unmistakably, to give them strength and courage to turn to me and feel the glory of my mighty intelligence and energy released into their worlds, for it will give them all they require for their happiness and freedom. I remind you again, remember this form standing before you has nothing to do with these words that are spoken to you this moment. This form, through the attention, and let it be an illustration to you, this form called to me the mighty I Am presence to speak its wishes to you, and I am speaking them. Let it be a living example. 6. To you, how your mighty I Am presence can answer every earnest, sincere call of the personality made to IT. Stand glorified in my light, the mighty I Am presence, which beats your heart, for it knows no obstruction nor interference as it is called forth into action. If you are not having the fullness of its power, it is because in your feeling world there is still something that is clothing its power with your feeling. Silence all feeling when you call the mighty I Am presence into action, and let it come forth with its mighty perfect energy to cleanse, purify, and sweep out of you and your world everything unlike itself, and it will do so. O my precious ones of earth everywhere, I pour forth this moment of opportunity, my blessings, my courage, my strength, my light into the mental and feeling world of all mankind throughout the earth, that from this day henceforth there may be less of the human discord and its seeming authority to hold sway through the feeling and speech of mankind. May that glory which I send forth reach all mankind through the mental and feeling world. Let all stand glorified in the knowledge of my presence which Saint Germain has brought forth. The beloved Jesus, the mighty divine director, who are my messengers, have also enabled you to have this light, for they have come forth to give you freedom and your ascension. My precious ones, do not allow your human self to set aside the feeling which they pour out to you. I, your presence, who beat your hearts, can enable you to have the ascension even in this embodiment, and the authority is in your call to your 7. Presence. With your earnest effort, if you do not get the human out of the way enough now, then in the next embodiment it is assured. Such is my love, my authority, my intelligence, which I give forth into your use and activity to produce the love, harmony, happiness, and perfection which every heart craves. For do I not know that my light, which beats each human heart, knows me, when the attention is once turned to me? As the messenger has told you, only when the human intellect turns the attention away from me does it again fall into the limitation of the human creation and its world. O my precious ones, you whose hearts reach so earnestly to the light, feel my presence untouched by any human interference. Call M.E., your mighty I Am presence, into action to clear your world of every discordant, destructive thought and feeling. Then, through your human intellect and feeling, stand guard that you do not allow any impulse to cause you to say or feel one single destructive thing. Thus, my love will pour out through your mind, heart, and form to everyone, dissolve and keep dissolving everything touching the individual's world. That my intelligence may act, that my love may enfold and keep everything, every activity, harmonious unto the fullness and happiness that all crave. Feel my blessings, O precious children of earth, who stand at the door of your eternal freedom from every human limitation that ever existed in the world of outer activity. Feel deeply that because you have made mistakes, you do not have to live longer in them. Call on the law of forgiveness for every mistake that has been made. 8.
Past and present. Then allow your mighty I Am presence to flood in and through you and into your world, its mighty dissolving perfection, because it knows no interference, but proceeds to do all for you and produce its perfection everywhere.
Let this remain in your consciousness as living words of light, that your outer memory may never forget it in the world. So may you have this mighty truth spoken for your active use every moment henceforth, and feel the glory of its mighty perfecting presence acting in your world every moment. Into the glory of light you enter. Into every cell of your bodies enters my amplified activity of the light, until humanity shall become repellent to every discordant thing. Even the cells of your bodies shall take on my perfection, to ever grow greater and greater in your life, and fill your life stream only with my perfection and activity, for it may not be longer qualified by human discordant feeling. Feel the truth of this, and make not only yourselves receptive to its activity, but keep knowing that the power which I have spoken forth into your minds, into the cells of your bodies today, goes forth with all-powerful action to harmonize, to produce happiness and perfection in your bodies. This goes forth to every I Am student in the earth to produce the same result. There is no power in heaven or earth to stop it, for I am the only activity, the only intelligence, the only substance, the only power to bring forth life. Therefore, no longer shall life be qualified with the inharmony of human creation. I have spoken. 9. St. Germain's Afternoon Discourse, Cleveland, November 12, 1936. Wish to say just a few words to the students of New York, Philadelphia, and Boston, and let you know my gratitude for your loyalty to my humble efforts for your freedom. It has been a very wonderful thing to have watched you in your ministry, and to have seen, as you have called to your presence, how steadily and surely has all that is undesirable been dissolved and has disappeared from your world. Now you may more clearly know what it means to adore your mighty I Am presence. Please do not feel disturbed by some who have seemingly turned aside, for I feel, this might be presumption on my part, but I feel my love is great enough to reclaim everyone who, momentarily, has succumbed to the claw of the sinister force. They are all precious to me, and I am sure that no one can turn aside long, for the messengers have never poured out anything but love and kindness to all everywhere. The human has not quite yet learned to guard itself against human gossip. Is it not an unfortunate thing for mankind that after so many hours of instruction, individuals have still succumbed and listened to the silly, childish, foolish gossip of vicious minds? Is it not strange? Yet it is not when we look at it from the standpoint that human beings through many centuries have been steeped, as it were, in their own human concepts and discordant attitude toward things. So we must be very patient with them. So will you, beloved ones, join me in that. 11. Patience to them. Call their mighty I Am presence into action. to cut them loose from anything that would draw them from the pathway of light. All humanity will come to know, sooner or later, that this instruction, all that in my humble efforts I have brought forth, is really true, and that this good brother's experiences are really true. His experiences are the foundation upon which this work is established. They are all true, and the individual who is unfortunate enough not to believe that, well, then he just must wait. But there is no occasion for battle about it, do you not see? So, do not battle with anything. Do not, I plead with you earnestly, beloved ones, please do not outwardly attempt to battle and correct human mistakes. You know, sometimes when you do that, it sets up a tremendous vortex of turmoil, which, again, must be dissolved. I say this to all students from everywhere: please study those books. Does it sound egotistical to you on my part when I say to you there are no books in the world ever written like them, which carry such a powerful volume of truth as each one of these books? You might read them 50 times, you might read them 100 times, and still you will not have what they contain. So will you, O precious ones, not be disturbed or dismayed by the attitude sometimes taken by human individuals who have come into the pathway of light. Remember what this good brother has said, and I agree with him in it, that no one can earnestly look upon that chart and ever forget it, or ever long step aside from the pathway or the stream of light into which he has entered. 12. You see, the light claims its own, dear hearts, and that is why I ask you all, everywhere from this time on, please take the holy constructive activity about things. Do not battle personalities. If they are making mistakes, just call their mighty I Am presence into action to correct conditions and then be at peace in your own feelings. That is truly the way to correct and harmonize all things. This is the point, in the disturbance that may have been in some group activities throughout America. Do you not see that if each one would only listen, really take upon himself his own individual responsibility, refuse to listen to gossip, and accept nothing less than the perfection of the presence, do you not see how impossible it would be for inharmony to ever start? Will you not do this, all of you? Because I love you, every one, oh so much, and I know the freedom you are gaining, far better than you yet do, for it is sure and certain. You cannot make a mistake long in calling your presence into action to produce perfection in your world and hold its dominion in your mind and body. After all, that is the only perfect thing to do. First, call your presence into action to hold dominion in your mind and body and give you its self-control. Do you not see that? It is so truly magnificent. In previous activities, we have struggled to do the thing by the human part of us. I mean, that energy, which is qualified by the human activity. But when you really once understand and know that the presence, which beats your heart, is really there, and once you feel it and call it into action, it will correct not only yourselves and give you self-control, but everyone else everywhere. 13. The mistake of all mankind is that they jump into a situation, humanly endeavoring to correct it, when they feel or think it is a mistake, and of course, a battle usually ensues. But that is not the correct way, really, because your presence, if you remind yourselves that your presence is all-wise and all-powerful, will always correct whatever the mistake may be. So is the presence all-powerful of the one you think is making a mistake? So take upon yourself the responsibility of maintaining harmony and control of yourself. If each one of you will do this, oh heavens, what a magnificent manifestation of the presence will come into your lives, individually and also into your group activities. So transcendent will be the light, the manifestation of your perfection, that everyone will rejoice forever and ever, that he has really come to understand the greatest requirement in the world is self-control, and each individual refusing to listen to or accept human discordant gossip. I have taken advantage of this wondrous atmosphere in the room today to speak to you myself direct, that you might get my feeling of the simplicity, the truth of these words. Will you excuse this expression, as Mrs. Ballard said to you a few moments ago, and I am going to use a slang phrase, so be prepared for it. You are a blessed lot, really, and I want you to know I too appreciate it. Not that all the students are not lovely and blessed, but you have released into this room a beautiful thing, let us put it that way, a beautiful radiance. It is so beautiful that you have caused me to comment upon it. That should be encouraging. 14. I ask the visiting students here from all cities everywhere to convey this to others for me. Tell them just what I have said here, that the greatest, simplest, and most majestic achievement is in calling your presence into action to give you self-control and refuse to listen to or enter into destructive gossip. I call it gossip, dear hearts, because it is nothing else. Humanity has believed that individuals were justified in that destructive kind of thing, but I tell you, more lives, more homes have been destroyed by the vicious gossip of humanity than anything else in this wide, wide world. So, will you always remember this and convey it wherever the opportunity offers? You cannot solve things by human battling. So, I take this up now because, henceforth, in the activity of the messengers, the appointed messengers, the students and group leaders everywhere, I wish you to convey this. Take the holy, constructive attitude. Do not be worried or distressed about any disturbing condition, either in the individual or in the environment, but just with that great, calm serenity say, "Mighty I Am Presence." You take command of that individual. You take command of that environment, that situation. Sweep your mighty energy into it, produce your perfection, and hold your dominion there. Then rest in that activity and do not allow your human feelings to accept anything else but the fact that the presence, the power of the universe has gone into the situation and it is producing its perfection there. I want so much for you to get the simplicity of this and realize that it is all-powerful. Again, I thank you, O beloved visiting students and beloved students of Cleveland, for your love. 15. For your staunchness to the light, to your mighty I Am presence, and for the acceptance of my humble efforts. Mankind is coming to know that, after all, this instruction is not so unusual as it seems at first. While to some at first it seems transcendent, almost too much so to be true, yet every particle of it is just as practical as your outer daily living and activity. It seems transcendent only because it is not understood, but when the attention becomes fixed upon a so-called transcendent activity sufficiently, well, it all becomes just as natural as can be. It truly is. There is nothing transcendent in the universe when understood. Even in the marvelous things that the ascended masters, Jesus included, do, there is a perfectly natural law being used, although mankind has not understood it. So will you not feel this in the future? I shall expect to see some wonderful transcendent things accomplished in your city. I thank you. Affirmation. Mighty I Am Presence. Take out of me and my world this instant all obstruction to you and the full outpouring of the ascended Master's perfection. Keep expanding that almighty, eternally sustained perfection through me for the blessing and freedom of all. 16. St. Germain's Afternoon Discourse. Cleveland, November 16, 1936. Beloved students of Cleveland, how great has been my joy to see the love, the enthusiasm, and the loyalty to the light that fills your hearts. It means you're 17. What it may be, It is your victory. Your complete freedom from the centuries of limitations in which you have lived. Because all individuals unknowingly, when they have turned away from the mighty I Am presence, have grown into the present density of human form in which they act today. Now all this is to be reversed. As it has been my humble privilege to call the attention of all mankind once again to that great and mighty majestic presence, the mighty I Am, so will they come back home into that magnificent freedom which they once knew. Notice, I say to you, you once knew, for in ages past you have known your presence. That is why today every heart which looks upon this chart knows it has found its home, knows that it has returned after centuries of wandering in the maze of human creation, most of which is destructive. It is very wonderful to find that at last they have entered the door, the gateway of freedom, again in the acceptance of their mighty I Am presence. Your source of life, O my precious ones, is the mighty current that carries into your mind, body, and your consciousness, not only your conscious ability to free yourselves, but that great light which will glorify you and your world. Never forget that the light which one day will make your body self-luminous is self-luminous intelligent substance, the finer part of the substance of which your outer structure is composed. This is how it is possible to dissolve the denser part of it, that the finer part may ascend into your higher mental body, then into the electronic body of the mighty I Am presence when you become the ascended being. 18. This is all very practical, so do not allow the intellect to say to you that this is something fantastic. It is an eternal law of the universe. Let no human intellect be so foolish as to try to set it aside. I tell you, the time has arrived when it will no longer be set aside. The great cosmic law is compelling every human being today to reach out. Whether he knows it yet or not matters little, but the great cosmic law is compelling him to reach out, like that, and search through the feeling for his freedom. This is why so many thousands, when they see this chart, recognize it as that for which they have searched. All hearts know instantly the reality of it. If the intellect would subside and let the heart have action, all would know immediately the truth of its reality and presence. So today, you precious ones here have entered into a joyous enthusiasm in the acknowledgement of your presence, of which many of you are not even yet fully aware. But through the activity of the radiance poured forth in this class, you will become quickly aware of it. Then there will be naught of the outer really that can hold, bind, or retard you from going forward quickly into your freedom from limitation, and, for many of you, to your ascension. Does that sound fantastic to you? No, no, my precious ones. There is no fantasy about it, but it is a mighty reality. Do not let the human intellect of yourselves or anyone else interfere with your going on and on and on into the glory of that presence which gives you life. There is not a thing but yourselves that can retard you from it or hold you back. You do not have to accept any undesirable thing into your world unless you want to. Do? 19. You know this is a great law? Yet unhappy mankind thinks that individuals must accept discordant things. No, not at all. In the acknowledgement of your presence, you do not longer have to accept anything in your world that you do not want. Anything that happens to have lodged, notice the word, anything that might have lodged in your world can easily be removed by the presence. Do you not see, my precious ones? Your presence is the full authority in your world when you call it into action. In the mistakes you may have made, The accumulation you may have drawn about you, which is discordant, do you not see that it has no power before the outpouring from your presence when you call it into action? Then you have turned away from the discordant accumulation that you have created and are looking to the powerhouse, the authority for your world, and there is none other. Therefore, when you use the violet consuming flame or call the presence into action to do it, it is done. Do not ever accept anything else. When you call your presence into action to pass the violet consuming flame through your physical, emotional, and lower mental body, it does it then and there. Because you might not see it makes no difference. It does the work. Please remember that when you call. When the light begins to expand from your presence, anchored within your heart, and the light within the cells of your body begins to respond to this radiance which is thrown out about you, it is no imaginary thing, dear hearts. It is so real, although an invisible substance. If it is so qualified by you, you can move in this tube of 20. Light untouched by the human discord of the outer world. Believe me when I tell you that thousands and thousands of my students have proved this, even before this activity began. Today, in my happy family of more than 200,000 students who are daily and hourly having their freedom through the application and acceptance of their presence, can you imagine my rejoicing to have found so many of my old friends? I wish you might feel the full import of that expression. To have found so many of my old friends of long, long ago. Again here in this class, I find many with whom I was once very close in touch. Do you know, my beloved ones, why I feel this great joy and enthusiasm in this class? Quite unusual. Because you are, many of you, those who were with me in the civilization of 70,000 years ago. Oh, does that sound like a long time? Not at all. In your divine memory, there is all of this. If I were to suddenly awaken within you your divine memory, you would see and know all that has been, as clearly as you read a book or a newspaper. I try, the messengers try, to enable you to realize how perfectly natural all these things are. Recorded about you is the divine memory of everything that has ever occurred in your entire experience of all lives. Does that sound like a lot has been gathered about you? It is very wonderful, when correctly understood, how you become the master of all forces about you. It is really your birthright. So today, in this heart-to-heart talk with you, my great joy and gratitude are boundless. When you have seen, as we in the ascended state have. 21. Watched individuals through many centuries, watching every opportunity to give assistance, that they might gain their freedom. Then you can know how we rejoice when we really find that they are gaining it through the knowledge of the presence, a permanent thing. Then you too can imagine how great is our gratitude and rejoicing. Will you not stand in the radiance of your mighty I Am presence henceforth, and allow no human intellectual concept to interfere with you in the slightest? Do not allow people to gossip, condemn, or criticize in your presence. Kindly, but firmly, silence it, verbally if necessary, and see how quickly you will enter into the joyous, marvelous activity of your presence, which will give you all the encouragement that any human being in the world needs through its power and efficiency to set you free. You will find a joy filling your heart henceforth that you have not known was possible for you to experience. Since the San Francisco class, these certain qualities are anchored within the feeling world of every one of the students who come into the classes. These qualities remain with them, becoming an active presence within their physical bodies and their worlds to produce each quality in activity and expression. This is why, since the messengers were in Honolulu, the power of the activity in the classes is tremendously greater than it was before and will continue to expand in the strength, energy, and power which is released. each one will, henceforth, gain more and more rapid freedom as he comes into the radiation that is released. 22. So, I want you to know that you have the privilege of calling upon our Ascended Master Consciousness. I want you to realize today very definitely what that means. Our consciousness, with which we have attained the victory and freedom from human limitations and gained the ascension, knows every step of the way, knows all of the requirements. Therefore, if you call our Ascended Master Consciousness into action to assist you, then the effort, the accomplishment, is much more quickly attained than through the consciousness which you ordinarily draw about you, for your unascended consciousness has not yet experienced this. Try to grasp this. Comprehend its meaning. I tell you, call the Ascended Master Consciousness to act in your world, and only as you become ascended will you know how much that has meant to you. It is my privilege to extend to you the love and blessings of the entire host of Ascended Masters who have become interested and are ministering through this activity. Shall I tell you a secret? Even the messengers have not been aware of this, but within a few months, more than 300 additional Ascended Masters, both masculine and feminine, have become interested and are pouring forth their assistance in this work. This makes more than 500 who are directly pouring forth their radiance to mankind as individuals become attuned to receive it. This means the freedom of mankind. These great ones, who wield the powers of the cosmic light, which will descend into Earth in greater and greater activity until all human selfishness is dissolved from the planet, are no idle fantasy, for that light is coming more powerfully. 23. Into action, daily, to produce this mighty result. Will you accept the blessings of the entire host of Ascended Masters, including myself? Accept our radiance, personally established, eternally active for your blessing, freedom, and ascension. It is my humble privilege to extend this to you and feel assured that you may call upon me at any time. To the degree that the law of your being permits, will I give unlimited assistance, as will the messengers. I want you to know this. You blessed ones who are visiting here from various parts of the country, do you know what this has meant to you, who made the effort to call the presence into action, to provide the way and see that you got here? It has answered you. One day, you will see how great that is for you. Dear hearts, it shows the light within you has become strong enough to govern the activity of your outer world. I rejoice with you with all my heart for the strength, staunchness, and loyalty to the light that beats your hearts. It is your eternal freedom. Keep at it, dear hearts, until the full power of your mighty I Am presence is released into action to produce every result of perfection you desire or may require. Oh, let nothing turn you aside. In the fullness of that great cosmic light, in the fullness of the activity of the Ascended Masters, the Legion of Light, and the Great White Brotherhood, we extend to you their blessings to become ever active as gratitude, strength, freedom, happiness, supply, and your ascension. I thank you. 24. Saint Germain's Evening. Discourse. FTER, the wandering of many centuries, we again have come home into the acknowledgement, into the understanding, at least in part, of that life, that principle of life, the mighty I Am presence, which is all life, our individualized presence of God. All mankind throughout the earth is searching for this understanding. Individuals do not know it yet in the outer, but after all, there is not a human being on the face of this earth today, even the savage in the jungle, that is not looking for this mighty I Am presence. Why? Because the great cosmic light is streaming into the earth with a very greatly increasing volume. This is why today, in the outer activity of mankind, a power and authority has come forth which heretofore has been unknown in the history of mankind, since the Second Golden Age more than 1,000,000 years ago. Now, beloved children of the light, the opportunity stands before you of the open door into your eternal freedom, in which fear, anxiety, and human limitations are unknown. Try to feel this in the understanding of your presence. Try to know that in the homecoming of the wanderer of the centuries is the eternal release from those limitations that all human beings have drawn about them. Never in the history of the earth have you had such an opportunity. Why? Because of the onrush of this great cosmic light and assistance, for it is making possible that which has never been possible before. 25. During the last civilization of Atlantis, before the sinking of the last remnant, there was a province in which the attempt was made to bring forth a nation of ascended masters. It was accomplished to the degree that no one labored for anything. People sat at their tables, and food, clothing, and everything they required appeared. Today, we are coming into that state again on a spiral higher, 2 spirals higher. So individuals who can set aside the human concepts of what can and should be will find themselves entering into this amplified activity with an ease, a grace, and naturalness not for many centuries understood. Will you not take advantage of this? The messengers have pleaded with the students throughout America to do this. Yet, although it seems incredible, mankind still insists upon criticism, condemnation, and entering into those inharmonious activities that shut out every good thing for the time being. Then individuals wonder why they do not get the health, strength, and freedom which they feel they should have. See quickly, my precious ones, why you can never gain the victory in eternity as long as you allow discord to register in your feelings or pass judgment upon another of God's children. I have witnessed the activity of humanity for centuries. I know the only stumbling block in the way of mankind is their unwillingness to hold harmony in the feeling and their unwillingness to govern the sex activity. Those 2 activities must both be under control before mankind will make real and permanent progress. The unfortunate thing is that the outer world of mankind has made people believe the opposite of the truth, and the people are laboring under it today. But the N26 individuals who will take their stand with their mighty I Am presence and push all human suggestions aside and hold them there will go forward like rockets into the fullness of perfection and freedom from all human limitations and their ascension. You must have this mighty energy of the presence, the fire of life, raised into the activity of your presence again. In order to have the strength, courage, and health to call your presence into action, until its power rushes forth like an avalanche into your world and fills it with the energy and strength which you require. Stand guard over and against the human suggestions that beset you on every side and prevent you from having the joy, happiness, and freedom which your heart craves. Beloved ones, there is no use mincing words longer. There is no use finding excuses for human mistakes. It does not do any good. It does not get you anywhere. Oh, face yourself right now squarely. Do not fail to do it. Stand aside, look yourself square in the face and say, "You human self, what have you been doing with this energy of God?" You have been wasting it at every angle. You have been wasting it through irritation in various avenues through which you have released that marvelous energy, letting it go forth, performing no constructive service. Today, O beloved ones, you must make your choice, and in the most magnificent manner that has ever been presented to mankind. You do not need to suffer. Imagine what it meant in the centuries past when the individual had to pass through initiations of distressing character in order to win his glory and freedom through his own. 28. Human creations. Today, all of that severe activity is set aside, and mankind right here in the open world, is getting its initiation every day through natural methods. No longer does the individual have to go into retreats and pass through those initiations, occult initiations, which were once demanded. You can be eternally grateful, O beloved children of the light, that you do not have to go through those terrifying experiences, more mental than physical, but more terrifying because of that. Today, you have the power of your mighty I Am presence to call into action to set everything in divine order through the power of divine love, ease, and grace, never before experienced in the history of the earth. All this change has come because a great activity from the great central sun, which furnishes the very energy and life to the student, has come into action, lifting the entire earth and its vibratory activity into the light once again. Not only does it now go forth, but will continue to do so, for the creation of mankind no longer has any effect to stay its power and action. That is why your hour of choice has come. You must decide whether you wish to serve the constructive or destructive pathway of life. Realize that no matter what your intellect may want to do, if you allow discordant feelings to reign in your being, then you are serving the destructive pathway of life, dear hearts. Do you not see that? Everything that makes you feel discordant or irritable is causing you to act in the destructive pathway. You do not have to accept that. You do not need to allow it to act within you, because you are the one who must decree for your world. 29. You have the energy of the presence to call into use, and it will produce the result you desire if you will call it into action. Never complain again because your presence does not act. It always does act if you call it sincerely into action and stand by it. Do not make excuses for yourselves. Call your presence into action and stand by it until the results manifest. It must act because it is the law of your being. Do not allow anything to make you have self-pity again. Human sympathy is agreement with imperfection. Divine compassion lifts you unto the heights above, where you can give 10 times the assistance and not be drawn into that with which you would be in human sympathy. Sympathy pulls you into the distress with which you are in sympathy. Divine compassion lifts you up above the distress, where you can give the service required and yet stand free, glorified by the glory of your mighty I Am presence called into action. There is nothing greater in the whole universe. Beloved ones, straighten your spines. Assert your dominion in the acknowledgement of your presence and stop all human action from this day forth. Go forward in the glory of your presence and be free. In your activity of the outer world of mankind's creations, do you not see that all outer industry and all activity of that kind is but the requirement of the human? In the higher octave, none of that is required. The ascended master produces instantly whatever he requires, whether it be clothing or anything else, and I assure you, we do not follow the fashion as you do. 30. Oh, my precious ones, may I say to you one word about fashion? The outer commercial world influences mankind all the time in order to gratify the commercial desire, causing you to use all kinds of fashions in order to get your money away from you. The ascended master's garments are the most beautiful in the world and cost the least. When do you suppose beloved mankind will wake up? Be your own designers in clothing, in food, in art, in your architecture. Then you will have the beauty of the ascended masters come forth into action in the earth, and you will have heaven expressed upon earth. That activity is just before you, not around the corner, but just before you.
My precious ones, I should love someday to show you what a good time we could have together.
Oh, my loved ones, we are not long-faced individuals, but are filled with joy, happiness, beauty, and perfection by being free from human creations and limitations.
Is it not a joy? Oh, what a wonderful thing! Oh, do not think for one moment that we did not go through all you are going through, perhaps some things even more terrifying.
I feel very close to you, dear ones here. Does that sound chummy? I mean it. I have been almost tempted to come forth and show myself to you. O beloved ones, weary not in well-doing, it shall come about. How great is my joy to find those who can and do release so great a love, so great an enthusiasm and joy in the acknowledgement of their presence. Oh dear precious ones, your presence which gives you life can lift you into your ascension when 31. You will decree it earnestly enough. Do not think that your mistakes out here, your sense of age, or any of those things can deprive you of your freedom. They cannot do it. It is only the human concepts within your feeling, precious ones, that hold you longer bound to the limitations of earth. That is all. Oh, just think. Just the difference in 2 words. Just the difference in 2 words. Bound and free. And in the knowledge of your presence, you have freedom right now. Will you not accept that and not let a single human thing come in to disturb you in the future? Do not let anything prevent the outpouring of your presence, for it will quickly dissolve everything else unlike itself. Then you go free into the light of your presence? I am going to ask you, beloved ones of Cleveland, and the visitors here, to begin the following activity at once. Contemplate your chart, the presence before you. I suggest the chart because it fixes the eye picture of your reality in your vision. Then lay your book down. Or the chart. Close your eyes. Feel this ray of light from the presence, not only as the ray comes through the top of your head and anchors within your heart, but feel that expand until it becomes a solid pillar of light enfolding you from head to foot. Then know that pillar of light is self-luminous, intelligent substance. You observe that. Just hug it to you and feel it do its perfect work in your body, absorbed into every cell. Now feel this while I am talking to you. Feel it absorbed into every cell of your body. Then feel your beauty, your health and perfection having already taken command of your body, then and there. As you 32. Repeat this process. You will be amazed at the transformation that will take place. This is a distinct activity aside from calling your presence into action in the ordinary way. Make your call first for the presence to charge your mind and body with its perfection and hold its dominion. Then feel, visualize. Seem, and tallily. See this pillar of light from the presence descend and envelope you in its self-luminous, intelligent substance, which no inharmony within the atomic structure of the body can interfere with or prevent its action, bringing harmony and perfection into every cell of your body, youth and beauty into your appearance. Will you not do that and have the glory, the joy which it brings you? I just long to take each one of you in my arms and then set you down free. You are so close to it, dear hearts. Oh, don't let anything interrupt it. At the least intimation of inharmony, turn on it like a tiger and say, "Get out of my world. I will have no more of your nonsense. There is no provocation out here that is going to disturb me. Now, do you understand that?" Then stand by your decision and be master of your feelings and world. Turn on it the moment it shows an appearance. Do not wait. Just say, "Stop that nonsense. You have held your dominion in my world for the last time. Get out." It will get out. Furthermore, you are going to do it, which I rejoice greatly to see. Someday, when the messengers come back to visit you again, we will not have to say that you did not hold your own. We will be able to say with rejoicing, "You have won your victory. Mark what I tell you." 33. How great is the love of myself, the messengers, and the ascended masters at the accomplishment here in this class, in the clearness and comprehension with which you have received this instruction. Because you have poured forth so great a love, it has cleared the comprehension so you are understanding more clearly. You are more alert in the feeling of your ability to have the victory through your presence. It is very apparent to me. Oh my, I wish we might have had a couple more weeks, but then we just must divide up our time. You know, when we have lived without the sense of time and space, and then have to consider it down here, it seems rather peculiar. Yet, after all, think what 2 or 3 years has meant in comparison with the centuries in which you have lived in limitation. Now you suddenly find you can quickly get out of it. Is it not a point of great rejoicing? Marvelous beyond words! How I love to meet old friends and to know that their victory is certain. Oh, it is so very wonderful! You must feel our great joy, for it is pouring forth like an avalanche, has all week, and furthermore, it is not going to stop. It is going to continue right on. Will you not believe that and accept it continuously every day? Individually feel the same outpouring each day. You can do it. I decree tonight that this be a continuous outpouring here in your midst, producing absolute harmony among all of you. For these blessed visitors, I decree NOW, that the power of the presence, the ascended masters, the legion of light, come forth.
I call the mighty angels of the blue lightning of divine love to go before you into your cities.
Seize and bind all entities there, take them into the octave of light, and keep them. 34. Bound to stand guard over every I Am student in all cities wherever you go, and the mighty presence to reach out its hands and fill your groups full to overflowing with earnest, sincere seekers of the truth. Group leaders everywhere. Be fearless, be humble, be loyal to the light, to your I Am presence. Then stand by this work. There have been a few who have had the question in their minds, why do the messengers ask the people, and why did Jesus and Saint Germain ask the people to stand by the I Am discourses and the work which Saint Germain has brought forth here? Why? Because, dear hearts, it produces results. That is the reason. You have all the good you have accumulated from everything in which you have been interested in the past. It is not that you do not give thanks, praise, and gratitude for everything you have received, whatever it has been, but now the open door stands before you in this. One beloved individual has said, they question that Jesus would make such a statement, which he did in the discourses, asking the people to stand by the instruction which I have brought forth. It would be strange indeed if Jesus did not know what he was talking about. He said it only for the reason that this understanding of the mighty I Am presence is your freedom, victory, and ascension. Isn't that reason enough why you should apply this law in preference to other things which have not produced those results for you? It is not derogatory to anything else that has given assistance, not in the least, but this will produce the final result of your ascension. Why not use it? 35. O precious ones, is it not curious how the human will concoct one thing or another to try to find excuses? Yet, after all, we do have infinite patience. We love and bless each one,
And the individual that wants to waver and wait around a little while longer, well, God bless him too. So you see, precious ones, we do not feel disturbed or anxious about anything of the kind, but just go serenely on, just go on and on to do this perfect work. Dear ones, in the fullness of the great light of your presence, assisted by the great cosmic law, enter into it and be free now. Never in the world have you had such assistance. Aside from your own conscious effort, you have this great cosmic light, these great beings, the Silent Watcher, the mighty Arcturus, Cyclopia, Oromasis, Prince of the fiery element, to assist you, and heavens knows, humanity needs it. There are a lot of things that need to be burned up, you know. All of these tremendous activities are giving assistance. There is a concentration of light and assistance from all the retreats of the earth, Arabia, India, the island in the Pacific, not charted, the mighty royal Teton, and all other places of light on the earth. They are also concentrating their activity to bring this light to humanity, because it is every individual's certain and definite freedom. Oh, take command of your worlds, precious ones. Call your presence into action with firm determination, and then the presence will do the rest. In the mightiest love of the great host of ascended masters, the Legion of Light, the great white brotherhood, and that blessing which comes. 36. From all the retreats of the earth, I extend to you their love, blessing, and their assistance, if you please, to your freedom and ascension. In the glory of that light which beats your hearts is the joy of all the octaves of light. In all the earth there is but one rejoicing, the light that beats your heart. In the fullness of that light, we call into action the intensified love, wisdom, power, and activity of your presence, to take command of all minds and bodies throughout the earth, produce its perfection, hold its dominion, silence and consume everything, every human, discordant thing that has ever been generated. In the blessing of that great cosmic light, we say adieu, but not goodbye. Affirmations. Mighty I Am Presence. Charge my being and world forever with the pure electronic substance of light from your heart, charged with the ascended master's consciousness and perfection eternally controlling all eye contact. Mighty I Am Presence. Make and keep me unconscious forever of all irritation. Charge me with the pure electronic substance from thy heart, qualified with the ascended master's consciousness, feeling, and activity of eternal peace and God control. 37. ELOVE'd group leaders and all students. The ascended masters ask you to stand guard more powerfully than ever before over your attention so that you keep it on the presence and the great host of ascended masters at all times, no matter what the outer activity of your life and work may be. The action of the law of your being is, whatever your attention is on, you connect with and bring into your world, as surely as if you threw a lasso around it and began pulling it to you. There is a twofold activity and responsibility in everyone's life. The first is to himself and to his world individually. The second is to those whom he contacts. For instance, whatever we let our attention connect with, that we must carry with its activity into our own individual life and world. When we turn the attention of others to certain things or activities, we become responsible for the reaction of the other individual to them. Whatever results they bring to the other person, we too must experience because we were the open door through which they entered. Here comes the action of the great law. If we turn the attention of someone to a destructive activity, and that one accepts it or does not exert effort enough to resist its activity, then if the person be swept into the downward path, the main responsibility is ours. The reason this is so very important is that it only takes one wave of vibration. 38. condition to turn an individual into the downward path. If that one be aspiring to perfection and someone suddenly turns his attention to a destructive activity, it many times happens that the person needed just one more wave of energy in desiring perfection to have released the strength from the presence which would have taken him into the full accomplishment of his victory. If we interfere with his attention in such a case, then we become largely responsible for his failure to go higher at that time. It is the law of life that if we are the channels through whom someone else is turned to the destructive path, then we must work with that one to bring him back to the point where he was when we turned him aside. Therefore, in all group activities, as group leaders, you should see how great is your privilege to point individuals to the heights of the Ascended Master's glory and ascension through turning their attention to their own mighty I Am presence. Therefore, never fail in your group meetings to call with all the intensity of your beings to the mighty I Am presence, to forgive all human mistakes of all mankind, past and present, and claim everyone into the service of the light, regardless of all mistakes. In this way, each one will be calling all individuals into the pathway of light and giving help in mass that could not possibly be given otherwise. This particular service to the Great Law is so gigantic that we cannot overestimate its importance, and all who will do this in their group activities will also receive a tremendous release in their own efforts for freedom. It is very transcendent and brings Ascended Master freedom and victory for all. 39. Blessed young people of America! The Ascended Masters wish to impress upon you an activity and use of the pure electronic substance of light, charged with the Ascended Master's consciousness, for it will bring you joy unspeakable and manifestation unbelievable of the perfection every human being craves. If you will make the effort to call your mighty I Am presence into action, to charge all the substance of your being and world with the Ascended Master's consciousness and all-powerful perfection in its most overwhelming action, you will be answered beyond your fondest dreams. It is very, very important for you to do this from now on for the protection of yourselves and others. The action of the law is this. The pure electronic substance of light from the Ascended Master's octave of life is charged with their Ascended Master consciousness, which never, never, never can accept imperfection from anywhere in the universe. Therefore, when you call to your mighty I Am presence to charge all the substance in your being and world with the Ascended Master. 40. Consciousness and substance of pure electronic light, forever expanding perfection from within itself, it is eternally sustained. Because substance charged with their Ascended Master consciousness can never be requalified with any human discordant feeling or consciousness, no matter how disturbed anyone's human personality might become. All the discordant, sinister activity of all mankind combined cannot requalify one particle of the substance that your presence charges with Ascended Master consciousness, because Ascended Master consciousness can never register human quality of any kind. Substance and consciousness from the Ascended Master's octave of life is eternally unchangeable, for it is their quality of perfection eternally sustained. When the student calls his mighty I Am presence into action to fill his mind, body, being, and world full to overflowing with the substance and consciousness from the Ascended Master's octave of life, the presence does release that charge instantly. When 51% of the substance of the individual's being and world becomes charged with the Ascended Master's consciousness, and thus becomes the pure substance from their octave of life, it means that Ascended Master qualities, activity, and manifestation begin to control all experiences of that individual's life. Young people of America, please study this explanation thoroughly and often. Realize how infinitely powerful is its action and power to produce perfection for you and in your world.
We give the following decree for this activity, for the freedom of all. Mighty I Am Presence.
Charge. 41. The consciousness, being, and world of everyone who reads or hears these words, with the Ascended Master's consciousness, illumination, and comprehension of their enormous importance, and the understanding of what marvelous freedom, victory, and accomplishment they contain for the blessing and ascension of every individual on earth. May these words, in their full Ascended Master illumination, register in letters of living light and as golden flames of divine love within the brain, body, and world of every human being on this planet, releasing their almighty perfection everywhere for the freedom, perfection, and ascension of all mankind right now.
Quote,
Affirmation. Mighty I Am Presence.
You are the love, light, wisdom, and power that keeps every disturbing person, place, condition, and thing out of my being and world from this moment. For I now ascend into your world, and I am forever at peace.
42.
Future appearances of the messengers. San Francisco, California. Scottish Rite Auditorium, Sutter and Van Ness Streets, Thursday, February 4th to Saturday, February 13th, inclusive.
Afternoons at 1:30 p.m. and evenings at 7:30 p.m.
Dallas, Texas.